Assalamu alaikum. Shalom, everyone. Islam to all the Moors. I, self-law, am master. So let's begin. We're going to talk about the science of 0 through 9. Coming out of C.M. Bay's work, The Clock of Destiny. And, of course, The Devil's Pulpit. I hope Give me a second, y'all. I hope I put my my finger on the page correctly. I thought I would be able to. Give me 1 second, y'all. Anyway, so let's get started with these. I already gave you a hint. So let's get started, y'all. This is the science of 0 to 9. And of course, we've already gone through in other classes that our ancestors mastered science. And actually, as Dr. Ben puts it so well, they mastered science and then they presented it as religion, but not a dogmatic belief system. That's not what he was talking about. But anyway, here we go. Well, let me just say this. From science, the alphabet, well, from nature, the alphabet, nature, of course, celestial and terrestrial, but no gods, devils, and demons. So let's get into this, the science of 0 to 9. I need to pull out C.M. Bay. Give me 1 second, y'all. I kind of got my attention. It's kind of gotten. I'm distracted. But anyway, C.M. Bay. This is Clock of Destiny, Volume 1. Okay, Volume 1. So you should, when you study this on your own, you should read actually. For what we're going to deal with, page 39 through 42, page 39 to 42. So let me just give you a hint. Well, let me just show it. This is page 42, C.M. Bay, Clock of Destiny. I think this was initially published, I think, in 1947, y'all. Maybe, I think it was revised in 71 or 73. But anyway, you can get a copy of this off of enforcetheconstitution.org. So what are we looking at, y'all? It says the science of Islam, I, self-law, am master. Well, we're definitely talking about the Hermetic Laws, right? Mentalism, man is thought made manifest from the soil, etc., 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 etc. So let me go ahead and read this. So again, this is page 42. It says the preceding division of 9 and 12. Let me see it. I'm just going to focus on this, okay? The preceding division of 9 and 12 by the figure 3. So he's talking about the paragraphs above on page 42 and page 41. That's what he's talking about, okay? That's what he's talking about. So you have to go back and read that. If I get time, we can do it today. He continues to say, well, let me start again. The preceding division of 9 and 12 by the figure 3. So 9 divided by 3, 12 divided by 3 represent the circle 7. So now we already know that mentalism is the first Hermetic law. The other 6 Hermetic laws have their origin or emanate from the first, the Hermetic law of mind or mentalism. All is mind. The universe exists in the mind of the all. So we have that. We know that thought is the action, the activity of the mind. So we already know that thought is the activity or the function of the mind. Now we talk about circle 7. Circle 7 is the Great Bear in the northern celestial pole region of space. It is the Great Bear today. The constellation that we're interested in the Great Bear, or that makes up the Great Bear, is the today they call it the Big Dipper. It has 7 stars. Okay, 7 stars. As a matter of fact, let me show it. Okay, so why circle 7? Because the Great Bear, the stars that make up the Great Bear, those 7, today called the Big Dipper, during the primordial revolution or circle around the pole star. So circle, so 7 stars revolved around the pole stars, 7 stars circled around the pole star, and that circle is the original Mazara that has been remixed into the Mazara in the solar zodiac projection, the zodiac that everybody knows today. Okay, it's a remix from the first. Okay, all right. And so, by the way, the 4 stars that make up the Dipper of the Big Dipper, not the handle but the Dipper, that's the initial 4 corners that become the cardinal 4 corners under the solar zodiac. So the cardinal 4 corners is the cross, right? North, south, east, and west. The cardinal 4 corners. Of course, the 4 corners in law is your writ. The paper that you write on. Okay, the paper that you write your holy writ, your glorious writs on. Okay, but also it's more than that. The 4 stars are the 4 corners of the world and the earth. Okay, so this is the initial 4 corners. Okay, everyone see that? But now we're talking about circle 7. And my understanding is that there are 7 constellations in the circumpolar, the northern polar region of space. Okay, there are 7. So now we have the 7 constellations that are revolving around or circling the pole star. Circle 7. Does everyone see that? Circle 7. Okay, circle 7. So this is circle 7. So in the solar zodiac projection, circle 7 is the equinoctial lines, right? The solar zodiac projection is the modern zodiac. So there's a spring and fall equinoxes, and then there's a solstitial line, all right? And then, so that's north, south, east, and west. So we get the Christian cross. And then, of course, there's a circle around it. Everybody understand? There's a circle around it. You can put a circle around it and circle 7. But people think that the 7 is a number 7, but it's actually a compass and a square. You have to read further in C.M. Bay's work. But of course, the compass is telling you north, south, east, and west, right? Let me see if I can find something. But it's even more involved than that. But I think everyone knows what Circle 7 looks like. I don't have to spend too much time on that. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if I can find a good. Maybe I have to go to the internet. Hold on. So y'all see AB lines AB and CD. Do you see the cross there? This is the solar zodiac projection. So that's the cross. Those are the cardinal points. Okay. And then, of course, the Ta in the Phoenician Hebrew, the Ta, this is the initial in the north, remixed as a Ta, which would be Taurus the bull in the solar. It would be Leo the lion, okay? And then, of course, Scorpio represented as an eagle today. And then, of course, Aquarius, the Ta cross, okay? In the Greek, they call it Tau. But anyway, this is the initial remix of the four corners. Okay, y'all? All right. So actually, according to the celestial ship of the north, those four constellations that I just mentioned in the Ta cross, these are the beginnings. These are the initial zodiac signs, the initial of the 12, the Ta. Do y'all understand that? The initial of the 12, the Ta. And then over time, it becomes 12. Okay? All right, so let's go back to Circle 7. All right, so let me pick it back up. So the preceding division of 9 and 12 by the figure 3 represent the Circle 7 of the science of Islam. I, self-law, am master, or I, self-law, adapt, master. But notice it says I, that's you, that's me, self, that's yourself, right? Law, well, what is law? Well, we have the Hermetic laws, right? We have the laws that govern natural phenomena in nature. Then we have the law, or let's just call it natural law, the law that governs the interaction between men and women, commerce, which is do no harm, do no evil, don't injure anyone, or if you look in the 10 Commandments, it's going to tell you don't steal. These are equivalent, these are synonyms of each other. I guess that's what I should say, okay? And master. Master, actually we could go into master. Master, y'all, is going to take you to magi and much, much more. Maybe we'll go through that. Actually, let me see if I can find something really, because this is interesting. If I can find it really quickly, I'll share it with y'all. Master takes us to magi. Okay? If you correlate this with the New Testament, you get into the 3 magi, right? Or the 3 kings. Or magicians. So is it evil, devils and demons, and you're calling on wicked, powerful spirits to do things for you? Absolutely not. Magician meaning you have mastered the sciences. You've mastered science, engineering, or you've mastered science, technology, engineering, so on and so forth, and you're able to create and build. You're able to create and build. Okay, so that makes you a master, a magician, not today's use of the word. But anyway, let's keep it going, because otherwise I'm pretty sure I will go in a whole other direction and never get this finished. Okay, y'all? All right. So 9 divided by 3, 12 divided by 3 represents circle 7 of the science of Islam. I, self-law, am master. All right. So what's the relationship? What's the relationship? Well, hermetically speaking, the first law is mentalism. Thought is a function of the mind. Man is thought made manifest from the soil. Genesis chapter 2, verse 7 is where we read about that. Prophet Noble Drew Ali tells us that. So what's the connection? I, self, law, am master. Well, you're the master because you are law. Because you are thought made manifest from the soil. You are the function, a function of the mind. Therefore, you are eternal. Therefore, you are all knowledge, all intelligence, all awareness, etc., etc., etc. But you are clothed in flesh at this moment, or at this dispensation of time. So you have the limitations, or whatever those limitations might be. Like, for example, a fleshly man can't grow wings and fly. But you can use your knowledge of science, technology, and engineering to build a machine that you can fly in. So this is the I, self, law, am master meaning. Okay? We're talking about the Hermetic laws and the laws of nature and who you are, who I am. Okay, it says 3 and 4 equals 7. Okay, so 3 goes into 9 3 times, 3 goes into 4, 3 goes into 12 4 times, 3 plus 4 is 7. Thus the great mystery of the world has passed away to never return. Islam, or I am. I hope everyone is seeing this. So the I am has been remixed, right, into dogmatic religion, which is Exodus chapter. You'll find it at Exodus chapter 3 in those verses. You know, the great I am that I am. And all of the ways that the scribes have decided to write that, and the priestly class decided to teach it and fool you. Okay? So Islam is the great I am. So y'all, I have, this is fresh coconut. Hold on. So in Southeast Asia, y'all probably know what this is if you've ever been to Southeast Asia. So this cost me a little bit less than $2. But this is the meat of the coconut. And of course it has a lot of oil that's extremely healthy for you, especially good for your electrolyte balance, the coconut water, and then of course the flesh of the coconut, the oil, is supposed to be good for you in many, many ways, but also in that it kills parasites. All right, kills parasites. Okay, y'all, so let's keep going. So Islam, or I am. What else is interesting about this? Well, the tetragrammaton, the 4 letters, or the 4 pictographs. Okay, notice the 4 and the 4 corners that we talked about earlier, and that the Hermetic law of gender, all things formed in the physical world have gender. They're either predominantly masculine in gender or predominantly feminine in gender. The initial things that were formed were feminine in gender. The first masculine thing that was formed is Soot, S-U-T, Soot, the dog star in the south. The son of the Immaculate Mother, the Great Mother Typhon, Typhon, the Great Mother, predominantly feminine. Now, this is not a physical woman with flesh and blood, but this is the Hermetic law of gender. In the role of birthing, reproducing. Do y'all see that? In the role of birthing, reproducing. So this is that initial that I talked about earlier, that initial revolution around the pole star that the Great Bear made. Y'all remember that? Well, that's the beginning of time. Also represented the beginning of everything that there is in the physical universe. So remember, this is feminine gender, Hermetic laws. So the Tetragrammaton, this is my point, the Tetragrammaton, in its initial presentation, was feminine. Only later, when the Solarites, the Osirians, were able to capture power and take over and put forth this paradigm of the sun, the S-U-N, sun, the orb in the sky, being the way to account for time or reckon time, the way to reckon reality. It was only then that YHWH was presented as masculine, as the father. Y'all understand what that means? So you go to Strong's number 3068, and it'll tell you the story. It'll tell you a story about the Tetragrammaton, how the Jewish people, talking about religion, not nationality. There's a world of difference. How the Jewish people said that the name YHWH was too holy. And remember, holy means shiny, sunny, brilliant, glorious. It was referencing the S-U-N, sun. No different than a picture of JC with the sun behind him, the sun rays. Because this YHWH is a S-U-N, sun deity, a sun god. So he's too holy, but of course the masses of people do not know what holy means. They think holy is godly, pure and clean. Right? So it's too holy to pronounce. But in fact, they prevented people or stopped people from pronouncing it, because if you knew the correct spelling or the correct pronunciation, you would know that this deity is feminine. Which would blow the whole game. Because what did they do? The circumpolar zodiac, the celestial ship of the north. See, this is the mindset of our ancient foremothers and forefathers. The ancient Egyptians, who the ancient Sabian Moors are also, who the ancient House of Yasharala is also, referred to what people call God today as ancient darkness. As ancient darkness. And that darkness, a superabundance of darkness, or like the Nation of Islam says, the triple blackness of space, this is eternity. This is the essence of everything. It is pure light. And what we call sunlight and the light that we see is a reflection of darkness. How about that? And that light that we see, sunlight, is not eternal. I've gone through this a million times. If you follow my work, you're probably tired of me saying it. But it is not eternal. It is a maya. It is an illusion. So if you understand these concepts, congratulations, because that means that the historical Christ juice, that poisonous toxin that blinds your eyes so that you can't see and understand, is wearing off. Okay? You're starting to get your mind back. So the Tetragrammaton is initially, well, it is what it was, right? Initially, it's feminine. It's still feminine. That's why they say no one knows how to pronounce it. And everybody's arguing about the correct way to pronounce it. Everybody's searching, spending all this time. I know I was one of them. Spending all this time, energy, and effort, and fiat to find out how to pronounce the divine name, the Tetragrammaton. Okay? Only to come to the realization that it's feminine and it was intentionally hidden. So that the game would not be blown. Why? Because what they have done, shifting our mindset from the mindset of our ancient foremothers and forefathers, ancient darkness, pure, it is pure, it is everything good, it is everything that you might think about holiness, being clean, being good, benevolent. It is everything that you think of in those terms. Shifting us from that mindset and also brotherhood and brotherly love and unity. Shifting us, also importantly, science. The focus on self-development. Okay, today we say self-actualization. Doing things for yourself, not injuring others, not hurting others, not lying to yourself and others. Okay, and respecting the law and science. Respecting women. Okay, respecting women. So they hid that because they wanted to change our mindset, to disorient us in time and space and prevent us from knowing who we are. So now, instead of the focus being on the divine feminine, the focus is now on what, y'all? The divine father. In other words, a shift from matriarchy to patriarchy. Hold on, y'all. Let me read this comment. What does this say? Saya Jen writes, Strong's 3068 doesn't say any of that. Well, you didn't read it. Don't come on here just talking. I know what Strong's 38 says. Anyone you go out there and read it, it'll tell you about the superstition that the Jews had. If you lie or intentionally try to what's the term y'all used for what's the term for people who's doing what this guy is doing? Hold on. Anyone who wants to see it, just go look up Strong's number H. H means Hebrews 3068. That'll give you the tetragrammaton. Oh, troll. If you troll, I will just remove your comment. And or block you. You can copy and paste Strong's 3068. If you care that much about it, copy and paste it so everyone can see. Y'all look at it. I get my information from the, well, I don't know if you can take a picture, from the physical Strong's book. But anyway, it's there. You have the, what's the name of it? The thick Strong's lexicon, okay? The complete one is right there. It'll tell you about the superstition. Anyway, let's get back to this, okay, y'all? Okay. When we employ the phrase I am, we have expressed the highest phrase of creation, namely ourselves, which symbolizes the letter 1 or I. Now, I went through this the other, I think I went through the first, I went through the letter 1 and I, the last class or video before this one. So this is 1. So the priest would point to the sun with one finger, okay? 1. But they would also use this as the letter I. And if they're rushing, this is letter I. But if they wanted to make a beautiful text, the letter J, they would write the letter J. J and I having the same meaning. In other words, the story that J is a new letter, that's not true. That was hidden. I covered this in the last class, but also in my other classes on the Devil's Pulpit, right? I think I did two classes on the Devil's Pulpit. If I have time, I'll do it again today. I'll show you today if I have time. So again, when we employ the phrase I am, when we say I am, we have expressed the highest phrase of creation, namely ourselves, which symbolizes the letter 1 or I. Y'all think about what does that say? Well, think about what that means. I am. Now remember, we're talking about the Hermetic Laws, but we're also talking about what? Self and self-image. See, what is your self-image? And this also involves the Hermetic Law of gender. Right? The Hermetic Law of gender. The masculine side is the nationality. So that would be the instructions or laws that are passed to you from your forefathers. We went over this. Okay, when you look at the etymological meaning of law, I got it. The one I like, I got from Volney's Ruin of Nations. I don't remember the year it was published. But he has a book inserted in the back called Natural Law. Okay? But hermetically, when you deal with the great law of the Hermetic Law of gender, the feminine can be likened to the subconscious mind that exists inside the body. The masculine exists outside of the body, the physical body. Okay? The feminine or the Holy Spirit in you Remember, the Holy Spirit is feminine. A lot of the Hebrew Israelites know that and acknowledge it. Is involved in your growth and development. Right? It's involved in growth and development. Changes. It happens at the will of the Father. It happens at the will of the Father. So if you, when you study out the Hermetic law of gender, you'll run into this concept called the cuckoo bird egg. Okay? The cuckoo bird lays its egg in another bird's nest. The cuckoo bird's egg hatches, usually before the other birds. But if it hatches after, the cuckoo bird, when it hatches, is bigger, and it instinctively kicks out, throws the other birds and the other eggs out of the nest. And then the mother nurtures the cuckoo bird, although it's not her offspring. Do y'all see it? But the cuckoo bird has terminated her offspring. But the mother bird doesn't know. Everybody see that? She doesn't know. So a cuckoo bird egg, thought egg, can be planted in your mind through various means, media, teachers at school, so on and so forth. Okay? And these thoughts hatch, and you become spics, blacks, niggas, Negroes, African. You become everything but who you are. Okay? If you are in autochthonous more. And others. But that's the point. It's a form of mind control is what I'm trying to say. So we're talking about the great I am and the Hermetic laws and what C.M. Bay means when he makes the statement, when we employ the phrase, when we say I am, whatever you say I am, you will become. Okay? But what do we have to do? We have to overcome, or we have to change our self-image. We have to transmute. That's the Hermetic law of polarity. Right? We have to transmute from the lower self to the higher self. That involves self-image psychology, amongst other things. But that's a big thing, okay? Our self-image. Anyway, let's keep it going. He writes, the Asiatic woman is God. Well, he's talking about what, y'all? The Great Mother Typhoon, feminine energy. He's talking about feminine energy. And I am, this is the masculine energy, right, y'all? So the Great Mother Typhoon and Sut. And I am the Son of God. Now we know that God is not an ancient word, right? That word came about during medieval times. I hope everyone can see what this is tracing back to. So this is not Bible stuff. This is science. Okay? Now, is it presented as Bible stuff? Yes. Because it had to be. The author of the Devil's Pullpit tells us that. Right? Do y'all remember? I think I discussed that last class. They had to write in religious terms because the Catholic Church otherwise would have killed them off. And this knowledge would have been lost forever. So this was a way of preserving the knowledge. without having it destroyed or without getting them killed. Okay, y'all, this is why etymology is so important, why grammar is so important, why a knowledge of mythology is so important, why a knowledge of history is so important, why a knowledge of philology is so very important. And these are the tools that we use when we investigate this type of information, okay? So let's keep it moving. Now, it's very interesting. He says here the Asiatic woman is quote unquote God, and I am the son of quote unquote God. And below that, he has the number 0, which is naught, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then back to 0. And then under that, A, B, C, D. So the A is under B. I'm sorry, the A is under 1, B is under 2, under 3 is C, under 4 is D, under 5 is E, under 6 is F, under 7 is G, under 8 is F, under 9 is 1. Okay, so now this is what we're going to shed some light on, or let me restate that. We are going to reflect darkness on it. Remember, light is a reflection of darkness, right? So let me read this last paragraph and then we'll go into the devil's pulpit. The author writes, C.M. Bay here writes, you should attempt to establish an argument, if you should attempt to establish an argument against this absolute code of mathematical and alphabetical facts, then you might be considered as the living dead. See, when we do mathematics, y'all, what are we doing? Mathematics is the language of the universe. Let me say it again. The mathematics is the language of the universe. It's the language of science. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and back to 0. Okay? This is what he's talking about. Then you might be considered as the living dead, that is mentally dead or insane. Well, due to religious mystery, 95% of the population of the U.S.A. will attempt to establish an argument against the preceding absolute facts. He didn't say facts, he said absolute facts. The power of religious superstition has unfortunately made the U.S.A. the insane institution. See, now I remember when I was into religion, there were people who, if you were into science, they would call you a devil or hesitate around being, hesitate to be around you. But they'd be quick to use a mobile phone, quick to go home and turn up the thermostat in the winter, quick to jump in their car and drive somewhere. But ain't none of that happening without 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the written numbers, or the alphabet, be it pictographs or the Roman style letters we know today. Okay, this is what the author is selling us. This is our culture. And he continues to say, highly educated, holding titles of degrees such as AB, AM, PhD, LLD, SB, and SM. See, in other words, even these people who went through the university systems, collected all the degrees that they wanted to collect, a lot of them are still stupid. In other words, they're still superstitious and therefore reject science or won't fully get in. And when I say reject or fully accept our culture, I'm not talking about using science in an evil way or in a destructive way. I'm talking about using science in the way that our ancient ancestors used science, which was to do good Remember, the natural law is do no harm. Don't injure anyone. Don't steal something from someone. Don't steal their right away from them, or rights. Okay, y'all? All right? For example, you have a right to due process. Don't steal that from them. Okay, you have a right to privacy. Don't steal that from them by creating a technology that's going to invade their privacy without their consent, or by forcing them, twisting their arm to consent, or tricking them. Okay? But anyway, let's continue. But unfortunately, lost for lack of common sense or rational reason, we just discussed that. Have you ever stopped to think that common sense is the very height of science? That's a great point. That's a really great point. Common sense. See, I tell y'all something. In science, a lot of people will try to make things extremely complicated. One, I guess the biggest reason is because they don't really understand it. Two, they're trying to discourage you or prevent you from understanding it. Y'all see what I'm saying? Or three, it's just not true in nature, but they're trying to make it true. Okay, so it becomes all complicated. All right. Anyway, so that's CM Bay's piece on the science of 0 through 9, and back to 0 again. Okay, so now let's go through the Devil's Pulpit. So this is the Devil's Pulpit, published in 1857 from a series of lectures on astrotheology that were given in the late 1920s, early 1930s, okay? But remember, this is published in 1857, okay, y'all? So hold on, let me find the place. So this is actually fascinating, y'all. You should really stick around for the whole thing. Hold on. I know I have the page number somewhere. Oh, here we are. That's it. 1 second, y'all. I have my page. Did I? Hold on. Hold on, y'all. I gotta find where I know I put a bookmark on the page, but I don't see it. One moment, y'all. Whenever I open this book, I want to read it. good. I'm pretty sure I put a bookmark. Sorry, y'all. Oh, wait. A second. Where is it? No, I had a bookmark. I thought I was going to open it right up to my bookmark, but I guess I didn't bookmark it. Crucifixion of Christ. Is it Freemasonry? Ah, here we are. I think this is it. Yeah. Okay, so page 280. Page 281 is where you'll get the information with number. Should I do number one again? No, I'm not going to do number one again. Go back and watch the video that I did before this one. Just before this one, I think it's number 8. So I did number 1 in this series, video number 8. Okay. So y'all go back and get that one. So let's start on 2. Let me find 2. All right. So number 2 starts on page 283. 283. So let me show y'all. Y'all see it? There's a link to the free PDF in the description area of this video if y'all want to get this book, okay? So let's go through it. So pause it on the replay. Download it if you want it. So here we go. The two God, capital G-O-D. the two God, capital G-O-D, as represented by the figure 2, is a picture of the sun sun in the second of the constellations called Taurus. So the sun in the house of Taurus. The capital G-O-D, God, so capital G-O-D, the sun sun, it's talking about the Father, right? Capital G-O-D. So the God Baal of the scriptures, vitiated in our English utterance into the word bull. So Taurus the bull is actually Baal. It makes total sense, right, y'all? Because vowels can be interchanged. Vowels can be interchanged. So in other words, the author is telling you that they hid this from you. Okay, so the Baal of the scriptures, vitiated in our English utterance or pronounced in English as bull, B-U-L-L, which the sun sun enters in April 19th. Okay? In April 19th. So remember, so let's say this is the constellation, one of the 12 zodiac signs, 12 zodiac constellations. This is the sun sun. So when the sun enters into a constellation, it fully takes on the characteristics and attributes of that constellation. Okay? So Taurus the bull is actually Baal or Baali, Baal. Next paragraph, page 283. And this little dot in the bull's eye, the star of the first magnitude called Aldebaran, an Arabic word signifying the one eye, from which the sun sun, setting off about the 19th of April, throws off his arc. Okay, so remember the arc, I think this is the arc he's talking about, the arc where the sun is ascending, northerly ascending toward the summer solstice, which is the highest elevation of the sun during the summer months. So the royal arc are those months that are dominated by the sun. In other words, those months of the year where there are at least 12 hours of sunlight. So there's 12 or more hours of sunlight. That's the royal arc. Okay? But let me explain it. So the sun is springing forth from the winter solstice, December 25th. It continues to ascend, elevate in height. It reaches its maximum height on June 22nd of every year or thereabout. And then it begins to fall. Its height or its elevation decreases until finally September 22nd or thereabout, it crosses below the celestial equator. Okay, so this arc is called the royal arc. In other words, God's kingdom. Okay, y'all? Now he continues, next paragraph. So setting off at about April 19th, throws off his arc, so the beginning of the arc, to the height of reaching the tropic. It's elevating, as I mentioned, elevating in height, moving northerly, moving toward the tropic. This would be the Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degrees north, okay? That is Midsummer Day, from which whirls around the nobly arched shoulders of the animal. So I think he's talking about, he's either talking about, of course, zodiac sign Cancer, or I don't know if he's talking about Cancer or Leo. But anyway, let's keep going. From which whirls around the nobly arched shoulder of the animal to the line of the equator, which is so much below the parallel of the bull's eye, as it is longer from midsummer to Michaelmas. Michaelmas is September 29th. September 29th. So the sun has already crossed below the celestial equator, and I think it's hovering right around the line of the celestial equator for like 3 days. Okay, it's there for about 3 days if I remember correctly. Michaelmas Day is September 29th, which is the last day that you can make wine. After that, the blood that comes out of the grape is going to be bitter. In other words, all the vital energy, all the life force that was in the blood of the grape has been removed. Anything else after September 29th is only good for making vinegar. Okay? This is why JC, when he was on the cross, he was given vinegar to drink. Okay? Representing the end of the vintage season. Vintage means winemaking season. Vintage, the word vintage is a word used in winemaking. The scribes remixed it and wrote vengeance, as in revenge. I think it's in Psalm 60, not Psalms, but in Isaiah 62, something like that, to make it seem as though a deity, the Tetragrammaton, YHWH, was going to come back and take revenge on people. Well, it has absolutely nothing to do with that. It's just talking about nature, the winemaking process. Okay, y'all? That's it. That's all he's talking about. Now, anyway, let's continue. All right. So he says here, as it is longer from midsummer, so that's the summer solstice, to Michaelmas Day. It's longer from midsummer to Michaelmas Day than from April 19th to midsummer. Y'all understand? April 19th, count the number of days to June 22nd. However many days that is, you could Google it. And then count the number of days from June 22nd to September 29th. So according to the author, he's saying it is longer from midsummer to Michaelmas Day than from April 19th, the beginning of the arc, right? The beginning of the sun's elevation in the kingdom of God. So the number of days are greater from midsummer or the summer solstice to September 29th. Okay, the number of days from April 19th to June 22nd are less. Clear? Anyway, he continues. And there he sits on the equator, talking about the SUN sun sitting on the equator, as thus too, with his knees turned under him, like an ox in a meadow, calmly chewing the cud. And so, if I am depriving you of the sugar plums of the gospel, I give you the bull's eye of philosophy. Okay, there you have it. That's the number 2, Aldebaran. Okay? As a matter of fact, let me see if I can show y'all so you can see what the bull's eye looks like. Okay, y'all, let me see if I can find it, okay? Give me 1 second. I think I found it. Let me just check the image. Oh, man. It just takes a little time, y'all. Okay, here we are. Can y'all see it? Hold on. Uh-oh. Wait. Sorry. Hold on. I just had it. So let me show this one. Can y'all see that clearly? I see a reflection. Let me try to block that reflection. Okay, so that's Aldebaran. I'm going to show a closer image. It doesn't look focused well. So let me show you another one more. Okay, here's a better one. You see the bright star, Aldebaran? The bright one near Pallades? That's Aldebaran, the bullseye. So both of these are in Taurus. So, hold on. So here it is again. I want to find a better one. Okay, y'all. Sorry. It's getting more and more difficult to get really any good information. So y'all be patient. You know, this takes time to do this kind of stuff, okay? Ah, here we are. There, this is perfect. Okay, there's Baali. This is Taurus the bull. Look in his eye. Look where Aldebaran is. It's right in his eye, okay? Bullseye. Y'all see it? So you should be able to see Aldebaran right in his eye. So that's where bullseye comes from. Y'all see it? Everybody see it? All right. So it says here, let me review this. It says here, from which rolls around the nobly rounded shoulder of the bull. Okay, rolls around the shoulder of the bull to the line of the equator, which is so much below the parallel of the bull's eye. Below the bull's eye. So we just saw that, right? Below the bull's eye. Okay? Then it says here, as it is longer from mid, oh, that's why it's below the bull's, that's why it's below the parallel. So again, it says it rolls around the bull's shoulder to the line of the equator, which is so much below the parallel of the bull's eye. As it is, in other words, why? This is the reason why. As it is longer from mid-summer, from June 22nd to Michaelmas Day, September 29th, then, in other words, the number of days are greater from midsummer to Michaelmas Day than the number of days from April 19th to June 22nd. Okay? And there he sits on the equator, and thus too, with his knees turned under him like an ox in a meadow, calmly chewing the cud. And then he continues. Okay? So let's go to number 3 now. That one was a little bit complicated, but we did it. We got through it. Okay. Number three. So here is the three God, capital God, number three. Here is the three God, not third, three. Here is the three God, the Eschuan Sun and Gemini, the twins of May, the shining brothers, Castor and Pollux, of whom one represented the human and the other the divine nature in the person of Christ. Okay? So, give me 1 second, y'all. All right, y'all, let's continue. Okay, so Castor and Pollux. Pollux was the divine nature, and so great was their love for each other that Pollux was not content with his own immortality. Without obtaining permission from Jupiter to share it with his mortal brother. So Pollux, I'm sorry, I'm distracted. I just got some bad news. Let me focus. So without obtaining permission from Jupiter to share it with his mortal brother, so Castor appears to be mortal and Pollux is immortal. And the boon was granted upon the condition that Castor should fetch his brother Pollux out of hell by continuing down. I said that wrong. Castor is immortal. Pollux appears to be mortal. Okay? That Castor should fetch his brother Pollux out of hell by coming down from heaven to convert him. That is, to turn him up and to stand in his place, so that one was to be in heaven and the other hell. Okay? Here then is Castor, a pretty little spark. He's talking about a star, okay, guys? Stars. About the 19th of May, May 19th. Observe his history. Observe Castor's history. He whirls himself around on his axis. So he's going around on his axis, like Earth has an axis, right? He's rotating with a very little ascension. So it's not ascending, not moving northerly, to the height of the tropic, from which you trace his quadrant of a circle. Quadrant means 4 parts of a circle, right? So there's a circle. So for example, draw a circle around here and put a cross in the middle. That's 4 quadrants, right? All right. From which you trace his quadrant of a circle resting on the equator at the point of the autumn equinox. And thus, so we're at the autumn equinox, okay? So we're in moving into winter. So fall or autumn, and then of course we'll go to winter, which is hell. December 22nd is hell, the winter solstice. Now, from a leap in the dark, now then, for a leap in the dark, Castor, go and fetch your brother Pollux. You are not the first saint that went out of the world by means of this line. What line? The celestial equator. Quote unquote, down to hell, and say I sent ye thither. So hell is December 22nd.
kia nó không xài nữa, tao mới hỏi rồi. Alo. Không, nó vòng lại thì kêu nó chạy về đi, nó nói rồi. Nó kêu máy vòng lại, nó hỏi bên kia có xài rồi, nó xài đi. Để nó đúng mà. Cho nó lấy luôn, lấy nó luôn, bên kia hỏi bên kia nó không có xài. Hả? Thì nó có vòng lại á thì kêu nó lấy đi, hỏi anh Quý hỏi bên kia nó không có lấy nữa. Điện hoài nó không kêu bắt máy, nãy nó điện nó rồi, để điện lại.
Oh, okay. So we're back to the three God. See him passing through what remains of September, getting into October. Thicker, deeper, darker grow the days. So we're moving from fall into winter. Okay. Getting into October, thicker, deeper, darker grows the days. Uh, this is hell itself. So the number of daylight hours are less than 12. The number of daytime, well, the days are longer than the nights. And the nights are getting longer and longer. And then on December 22nd, which is the winter solstice, that's the longest night of the year, the day that has the greatest number of nighttime hours and the fewest or least number of daytime hours. So this is hell. So make the correlation between dark and darkness under the circumpolar zodiac projection. Dark and darkness is everything beautiful and wonderful. It's all intelligence, all imagination, all consciousness, everything good that there is. This is the darkness, or as our ancient ancestors called it, the ancient Kemites, they called it what's called God today, they call ancient darkness. So darkness is eternal. Darkness, or a superabundance of darkness, is pure light, and it's eternal, right? And light, sunlight, is but a shadow of darkness. And sunlight, light, is not... Do I have it with me? Let me see if I have it. I hope I have it. I want y'all to see how they flip the script. Hold on. Let me see if I can find, if I have the book. Okay, so let's look at how they flip the script. Everyone should know we're going to look at what, page 9 first. I think it's page 9 and 14. Page 9, 11, and 14, I think. Okay, so this is The Celestial Ship of the North, Volume 1, by Emma Valencia Straighton. Okay? So on page, is it page 9? Page 9. Yeah, here we go. Here it is. We'll begin at the top. As saith she, this is the great mother Typhoon. She was bespangled with stars. Isn't it interesting? The U.S. flag, the Star-Spangled Banner, the blue background with the white stars, Star-Spangled Banner. She was bespangled with stars, and there she gave her mystic message. This is the great mother Typhoon. I am all that is. Remember, I am. CM Bay talked about that. I am all that is. I am all that has ever been. I am all that will ever be. So this is what CM Bay is talking about. We talked about I am. Okay, that we talked about earlier in this video. And my veil no mortal hath drawn aside. Listen to this. The fruit that I brought forth was the S-U-N sun. Okay, was the S-U-N sun. Hold on. Okay, so let's continue. The fruit that I brought forth was the S-U-N sun. Okay, she, this is the great mother, was called by the Scanothians, quote unquote, the air, shining with ethereal light, not sunlight, ethereal light. She has been imagined as intensely black, her bosom bare, black as in dark, as in night, her bosom bare, crowned with the golden pyramid, about which twined an immense serpent. So of course, you know, in the solar religions, the serpent is the devil, evil, right? But in the ancient mindset, in the mindset of our ancient foremothers and forefathers, the serpent is the great mother, all things that are good and wonderful. It continues. Night and darkness belong as symbols of very great antiquity. It's older than the solar zodiac projection, which only came into being, around 4,000 to 4,500 BCE, so roughly at the most 6,500 years ago, okay? That's not incredibly ancient, all right? But night and darkness belong as symbols to a very great antiquity. We're talking about hundreds of thousands, millions, if not billions or more years. He continues, a superabundance of darkness metaphysically is light. Darkness, listen y'all, darkness adopted illumination. Darkness adopted light in order to make itself visible. In order to make itself visible.
cho đi liền đâu, đi liền sao được.
Okay. So let's continue. Let's continue. Okay, so what we're looking at is how they made evil, they made they made us, our way of life, our way of reckoning time and reality, our mindset, they made it evil. Okay, they made it evil. So darkness in the solar zodiac projection is evil. Okay? It continues. A superabundance of darkness is metaphysically light. Of course, darkness adopted light in order to make itself visible. Out from the boundless abyss of darkness, acted upon by divine power, this would be the law of mentalism, the first Hermetic law, came the holy light. Paracelsus called the sidereal light the astral light, the reflection of the great immaculate mother. Okay, y'all? The reflection, well, the great immaculate mother is pure darkness. Okay, so clear? All right. So the reflection of the great immaculate mother, to whom the name of astral light had been given, a name never given to the Father or the fatherless son of the Immaculate Mother. Y'all got that? The Father, any Father, and there was no Father, deity, there was no masculine man or father held in high esteem as far as the formation of life or the physical universe was involved. But remember, we're talking about the Hermetic Laws, not people. Okay? Neither was it given to the fatherless son. Of course, JC, the Christ figure, is said to be the fatherless son, right? Right? So this is mother and son. Dr. Ben talks about the mother and son that was worshipped before there ever was a Christianity. It was a mother and son. So this is the great mother Typhoon, or Sut Typhoon. Notice they put the son's name in front of the mother. Okay? And actually they call it Sut Typhoon and just refer to that as a son. They don't tell you that Typhoon is the mother. Okay? And they present them as evil. Sut, S-U-T, becomes Set in the solar zodiac drama, who is Osiris's evil brother. Sut ultimately becomes Satan the devil, okay, in the solar religion remix, okay, in the Christian remix. All right. So anyway, he continues on. Okay, y'all. So let's look at more on darkness. More on darkness. Oh, let me, while I'm here. So let's think circle 7, okay? Let's think circle 7. This is page 10, page 10. Going into page 11. So last sentence on page 10 going into page 7. So this garden, they're talking about the Garden of Eden. Well, you know what? Let's just do the whole paragraph, the last paragraph on page 10. The Garden of Eden, or paradise, was the place of birth of man and of time. So this is the celestial North Pole region of space. The Holy Spirit was a garden, the Garden of Paradise, the female principle under its venerated symbol. Y'all got that? The Garden of Eden, the Holy Spirit, the feminine principle. This is the Hermetic law of gender in its role of producing and forming, right? That's what makes it feminine. Okay? So, for example, producing, forming, as in giving birth. Okay? In this garden, which was also called Meru, M-E-R-U, Moro, the vowels are interchangeable, right? Grew all the delicious fruits, flowers, and vines, and among them the golden apple of primitive times. This garden was placed at the north. The Egyptians called it Sais, S-A-I-S, and Proclus remarks, quote unquote, it partakes of a particular emanation from God. So it comes from the ancient darkness, right? Right? The Great Mother formed it. This is the Garden of Eden, the North Celestial Pole itself, the North Pole itself. The North that was called sacred, the home of the constellation of the Great Bear. Today they call it the Big Dipper, y'all, right? That's where the Big Dipper is. That's the famous star, okay? So the Great Bear is the Genetrix, the womb, whose 7 stars were the 7 sailors, who watched over and ever will watch over the celestial sea. Beautiful for situation, the joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion, Zion Law School, Mount Zion, the celestial. On the side of the north, and that scripture is coming from either Psalms 48:2 or 68:2. Okay? The abyss in Egypt is the name of the north. And the original mother of this abyss was space in the North Celestial Pole region, was called Typhon, Typhon, the mother of beginnings, the mother of the fields of heaven, the mother of revolutions, meaning the mother of time cycles. Let's read the footnote. This is footnote 1. This mother of revolutions was called the producer and reproducer of souls, S-O-U-L-S, or gods, who were the self-born, who were from the cycles. What cycles? Cycles of time. Created by the revolutions of the stars of the Great Bear around the pole star. Okay, y'all? They were later known as spirits of the gods, and in another phase as the planetary spirits. Helios, the sun god, was born in the cycles of the sun, the light born. Okay, y'all? So let's go to one more about darkness, which is the one I really want you to see. I think it's page 14. Yeah, page 14, footnote number 2. This is what it reads, y'all. The Egyptians symbolically named God the quote-unquote ancient darkness. So what they call God today, our ancient ancestors called ancient darkness. Of this darkness, H.P. Blavatsky writes, quote-unquote, darkness is the root of light. Light is matter. Darkness is pure spirit. Think about that. Darkness is the root of light, but yet they're calling darkness evil and light heavenly and good. So how can the light be heavenly and good if it has its origin in that which is evil and wicked? Okay, y'all? But anyway, darkness is the root of light. What's the verse, y'all? JC says, hold on, give me 1 second. Sorry, I'm dealing with work-related things. Don't mean to be rude. Okay. Darkness. What was that thing? Oh, the scripture. Let me see if I can find the scripture for you. Okay, so John chapter 1, verse 5. So let me read that. So this is out of the New International Version. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. New Living Translation. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness can never extinguish it. These are not. Let me scroll down. Here we are. King James. Y'all take a look at the KJV. What does it say? And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. Okay, New Standard Bible writes, and the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not grasp it. What does that mean? NASB. The light shines in darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. Well, wait a minute. The light as in sunlight? The darkness as in the absence of sunlight? Or the light as in JC the Christ figure? And darkness as in the chief priest or the ecclesiastical class or all the people in the world? What's he talking about? Or could it be, the light shineth in the darkness, as in the light, as in darkness. Let me read this again. Just have an open mind. Have an open mind. Darkness adopted illumination in order to make itself visible. Or could it be that the light shineth in the darkness, as in the origin of light being the darkness? And they comprehend it not. And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. So, can darkness comprehend something? So they must be talking about intelligent men and women, right? Right? KJV says, and the darkness did not comprehend it, or the darkness comprehended it not. So what is this talking about? Well, who's the light and who's the dark? Okay, the ancient Sabian Moors, the house of Yasharallah, however you want to refer to the autochthonous first people, or as this book calls us, the primitive people, the original people on the planet, the dark people. Oh, so the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it, or comprehended it not. So what is the light? Well, the light under the solar zodiac system is sunlight, right? Right? Also, what else? Under the solar zodiac system, everything that's light or pale is now good. Everything that's dark is now wicked and evil. The light must suppress the dark. In other words, the pale people must suppress the dark people. In other words, the hybrids, the Han Umans, the hybrids must suppress the autochthonous or Sabian Moors under the solar zodiac projection, but the Moors don't perceive it. Why? Because they're laying down horizontal with their head in Aries, their head in the East Gate, their head in Aries, their head in the solar zodiac projection, where light, pale is superior, and darkness is inferior, evil, and wicked. but the darkness comprehends it not. How many of y'all ever thought about that? Take a minute and think about that. Oh, lost my thought, y'all. I'm dealing with some issues, urgent issues. Uh, but anyway, but just think about that. Think about that. Light and darkness. Light and darkness. Okay? I like that so much, I'm going to do it one more again. One more again. Okay, according to the KJV Bible, this is how it reads. And the light shineth in darkness. Okay, so can we understand that as being the light uh, has its origin in darkness? Well, it has to be, right? Because how else will you know there's light if there's no darkness? Right? So the light has to shine in darkness. Turn your light out. Turn the light out. and see at night, right? There's no sun at night. Turn the light out, see if it's dark. So of course the light will shine in darkness, right? That's just natural phenomenon. And light shineth in darkness. Okay, we all know that to be true. But see, we think that's talking about, well, not we, we've been taught that that's talking about JC, the Christ figure, right? Shining amongst evil people. And the light shineth in darkness. Natural phenomenon. And the darkness comprehended it not. Darkness cannot comprehend anything, can it? It cannot. But we do know that we are referred to as what, y'all? Dark people. Dark people. But what else are we? Who else are we? Who else are we? Where do we come from? We come from, according to the mindset of our ancient foremothers and forefathers, the star Mitzar. And the handle, well, without going, let me not say that. I've done videos. Y'all watch the videos. Maybe the last 10, 15. I go through this. I don't remember exactly which one it is. But let me just say this: we come from the great mother, the great bear. So we're celestial. So we are the darkness. We are literally the darkness. So whether you talk about us celestially, we're still darkness, or if you talk about us as thought clothed in flesh, made from the soil, we're still darkness. Y'all got it? Y'all got it? So, as it says again, and the light shineth in darkness, and darkness comprehended it not. All right? So I hope everyone sees the point I was trying to make about darkness. Um, hold on. still here. I appreciate y'all. You know, I really appreciate you waiting patiently for me. Some things they happen unexpectedly, and you know you have to deal with it. So, but anyway, I think I'm finished with that. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. So hopefully it's clear uh, that light does have its origin in darkness. And those dark people are the Sabian Moors, or are the autochthonous Moors, who are thought made manifest from the soil. Thought is the activity or function of the mind. Okay, and according to our ancient ancestors, the great mother Hawthorne, the great mother Typhon, uh, also called the mother of revolutions, uh, formed us. So we're talking about the laws of thermodynamics. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only transform. It can only be transformed into one something or another something. Okay? So we are thought made manifest, thought transformed through the interaction of land into the fleshly body that we have. Okay? But we are still mind. Okay? We still have a mind. We're still cosmically connected. Cosmically connected. So therefore we are still dark or darkness. Okay? So the light shone forth from the darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. Hold on, y'all. I have to get my point. I have to get my. Okay. All right, y'all. Oh. Okay. I remember. So yeah. So we are the ancient darkness, but we don't comprehend. We don't comprehend that the solar zodiac projection and the religions that have been built off of it. This is the light. This is the light that is not eternal, but that is material. We don't comprehend that. Now, that's the understanding I want to attach to those verses, because I know that to be the truth. I know it to be the truth. I know that Christianity, Judaism, these religions, all of these modern religions, these solar religions where there is a mother and son and a male deity, all of them are based on sun sun worship. In other words, it's built on a pack of lies. Now, the astrology aspect of it, I'm not saying that the astrology aspect of it is false. I'm saying what the author said, for example, is that the Catholic Church added 30 degrees to the initial 3 degrees of Masonry. And it wasn't Freemasonry, it was just called Masonry, mother and son. And it explained science. That's it. Astronomy was called astrology back then. It explained astronomy, the Hermetic Laws, and natural phenomena. That's it. Their ancestors studied, observed. I don't know what kind of experimentation that they did, but they used it to make technologies and to enjoy a civil life, to live civilly with each other. Okay, so that's the ancient. That's the mindset of our ancient foremothers and forefathers. That's the darkness. But now, since that has been destroyed and almost completely lost until now, that has been destroyed for the most part and replaced with a new paradigm where the focus is not on the celestial north and south pole, circle 7, and the clock of destiny, the natural law to do no harm, do no injury. In scripture, we see it recorded as don't steal, where there's brotherly love, unity across the globe. That has been replaced with the solar zodiac projection, which with its present 12 zodiac signs or 12 constellations, all based on light and darkness. Okay, so the kingdom of God is when the sun rules more than 12 hours per day. This is the kingdom of God, right? Then when the sun falls below the autumn equinoctial line, the darkness where the nights become longer than the days, 12 hours of more of darkness. They call that hell. And the great law of polarity, the winter solstice, it's the same thing, right? They call that Satan, because it's the opposite of what? It's the extreme opposite. If you draw a straight line from the summer solstice to the winter solstice, they're calling the summer solstice Christ. Okay, they give the SUN sun the title of Christ. But at its lowest elevation, when there's 12 hours or more of night, and the winter solstice is the day of the year that has the most nighttime hours and the least daylight hours, they're calling that Satan in religion. Okay, but linguistically, it simply means what? The opposite end of the same line, which is the law of polarity. So higher self, lower self. Christ, the devil, Satan the adversary. Satan the adversary, because it's at the opposing end of the same line. So this, the darkness, the autochthonous Moors, don't comprehend it. They can't comprehend it, but they have not en masse comprehended it until now. And I have to give credit to Bobby Hemmett. I think over the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've come across 4 or 5 videos that he did way back. I think the first one was in 1996, somewhere around there, where he did the mythology of the Great Mother Typhoon. Okay? He did it from a mythological point of view. And then I think the other video that he did was in 2002, maybe 2006. I saw another video that he did about the mythology of the Great Mother Typhoon. Okay? Now, his focus is on the mythology. I'm not an expert in mythology, but some of the things he said from my knowledge, a lot of what he said from my knowledge was correct. Some of it, based upon what I know, I don't know enough to say he's wrong, but it doesn't match what I know, if y'all understand what I mean. Okay, so I have to give credit to him. And I hope everyone gives credit to him and acknowledges him for bringing that back to us. And I mean, to be quite frank with you, in my mind, I like to think of it, hold on. Anyway, so uh, so there you have it. Let's get back to the science of zero through to the science of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and back to zero again. I think I finished this. Every time I get a chance, I want to go through this, y'all. Um, I would like for everyone to remember this information. Oh no, I forgot. I need to complete the quotation on the footnote on page 14, number 2. Then we can move forward. Okay? The Egyptians, so this would be the ancient Kemites, before the dynasties, before the monuments, before all of that. The ancient Kemites symbolically named, quote unquote, God, that's a new term, the ancient darkness. Of this darkness, H.P. Blavatsky writes, quote unquote, darkness is the root of light. Light is matter. Y'all see that? Light is matter. So your solar deity is matter. Light is matter. Darkness is pure spirit. Darkness, metaphorically, is absolute light. So how can darkness be evil and wicked if darkness is absolute light? So what is this telling you? This is telling you, well, let's keep going. Light is merely a mass of shadows. Y'all got that? Light is really a mass of shadows. So it has to be a shadow what? Shadow of the darkness. Light is merely a mass of shadows, as it can never be eternal. As it can never be eternal. Light is not eternal, but darkness is eternal. Okay, so light is never eternal and is simply an illusion. Illuminate, illusion, light, or Maya. Everybody see that? Okay, so the solar deities are an illusion. Okay, physical light is an illusion, it's a shadow of darkness. Okay, actually I want to do something else. The last paragraph on page 14. In that far off beginning, everything was Sabian. Sabian Moors, autochthonous men and women, sprung from the soil. Genesis chapter 2. In that far off beginning, everything was Sabian, before the dynastic periods, before the human pharaohs, before the demigod pharaohs, before the titan pharaohs. Everything was Sabian, i.e., belonging to the stars. And there you have it. There's our culture. There's the mindset of our ancient foremothers and forefathers. It was only later when Sabian, in parentheses star, S-T-A-R, and then lunar, in parentheses moon, M-O-O-N, period. So in other words, it was only later when Sabian and then moon periods had made way for the solar, in parentheses S-U-N, sun, period. So what is this telling us? It's telling us that initially, our ancient ancestors, the Sabian Moors, who were Kemites, who are the house of Yasharallah, who are not Jewish, there's no religion. What did they do? They reckoned time and reality, made all their plans, everything based on the stars, the science of the stars, natural phenomena. And then they began to fall off. They began to use the moon, okay? And then We were totally overtaken by our own people, the Osirians, the Solarites. What did they do? They destroyed us, stole our birthright, defamed and disgraced, slandered and libeled us, made everything that was good, that's dark, evil. Flip the script, okay? Then what? It says here, it was only, let me repeat that. In that far-off beginning, everything was Sabian, i.e. belonging to the stars. It was only later when Sabian, that is star, and then, see, initial is star, and then lunar period, so they're falling off on the lunar period, had made way for the solar sun periods. In other words, the solar zodiac. Okay, now with the moon, our ancestors were still following the north and south celestial pole, but they had incorporated some things to do with the moon in it. CM Bay deals with that in the Clock of Destiny, okay? He deals with that in the Clock of Destiny. He says that it is just important as the sun in nativity charts, etc. Okay, let's continue. So these Solarites, these Osirians, replaced through warfare and violence and birthright theft our ancient mindset, did away with the celestial ship of the north, did away with the circumpolar zodiac, did away with Circle 7, Clock of Destiny, and natural law, do no harm, don't injure anyone, or, well, they kept don't steal. That's in the, okay? This is why we don't know about it, y'all, right? This is why the Prophet Noble Drew Ali says that they had this knowledge in the East, but they did not bring it back to us in the Americas. They kept it for themselves. And these are our own bloodline people who did that. Okay? All right. So the solar periods that male, I have to do it. So it was only when the Sabian star and then the lunar moon periods had made way for the solar sun, S-U-N, sun periods, that a male element appears, that a father appears, that the patriarchy appears. This was around 4,000 to 4,500 BCE under the reign, or during the reign of the first human pharaoh. So about 6,000, 6,500 years ago. That's all. Okay? It continues. It continues. For in the beginning, all was considered in double aspect as male, female, biune. What is it talking about? The Hermetic law of gender. We're talking about the Hermetic law of gender. The extreme end of one line is positive. The extreme end of the other line is negative. Or in other words, masculine and feminine. Y'all see it? Gender is involved in the kingdom of all things brought forth. In the kingdom of birds, in the kingdom of minerals, in the kingdom of mammals, so on and so forth. Gender is present in all. That has been perverted into homosexuality and transgenderism. Okay? So when the advent of the solar period, so let me repeat that. When at the advent of the solar period. This is around 4000 to 4500 BCE, if you believe the chronology. The worship of the fatherhood in heaven became established. There you have it, y'all. Then, time was reckoned by the SUN sun instead of, as formerly, by the stars and the moon. In other words, circle 7, clock of destiny. Y'all got that? Natural law, don't injure anyone, don't harm anyone, don't steal. Same, they mean the same thing. How was all of this accomplished? Through the science of the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and back to 0. Autumn in Egypt, here in Assyria, and Abraham in Israel became the father of the gods. And the child of the mother became known as the SUN son of the father. I took y'all through that in the class, the video just before this one, and I think even maybe I touched on it in the video before then, but it's in a lot of my videos where we talk about this, okay? And it's celestial, it's incestuous if you look at it from a fleshly point of view. Okay, it is incestuous and ridiculous and impossible. Okay, it only makes sense celestially. So let's continue. The individualization of the Father, whom the people then enthroned above the ancient mother. Y'all see that? So you got the own, you have the sons and daughters turning on and attacking their own mother. This is what you get in the solar zodiac projection and the solar religions, okay? Can you imagine that? Your brother, your sister attempt to kill your mother, and your siblings, brothers and sisters who support her, who have the same way of thinking as her, y'all go after them and try to exterminate them. This is what happened, okay? This is what is meant by whom the people, these are the Solarites, the Osirians, whom the people then enthroned above the ancient mother. It was through warfare, was acclaimed with great rejoicings. Okay, so they attempted to kill off their mother and everybody in the family who supported them, and then they were happy about it. They were happy. Why? Because they're greedy and they stole power. Okay? Not only did they steal power, but they stole the birthright. That means the property, the possessions, and everything else of all of those people who supported their mother, had the same mindset of their mother. Finally, the child of both became a substitute for the mother and the father of a later period theology. In other words, the focus now becomes on the Son of God, more so than the father or the mother, okay, which is present day Christianity, like the Baptist religion, so on and so forth. Okay? I had something in that. Let me close this up. I want to get back to the science of 0 through 9. Okay, y'all. So we're on the. I think we stopped on the third god, right? Let me hold on. Oh my gosh. Where am I, y'all? Okay. Okay, so yeah, we're on the third god, which is Castor and Pollux, the two twins. Okay, the two twins of Gemini. All right. So page 283, last paragraph. Here then is Castor, a pretty little spark, about the 19th of May. Observe his history. He whirls himself around on his axis with very little ascension to the height of the tropic. So this would be the height of the tropic Cancer, from which you trace his quadrant of a circle. That's the four. If you have a circle like this, draw a line straight through the middle, vertical and horizontal. That gives you four quadrants. Okay, that's where you get the four corners. The four corners of the squared circle. Okay, that's what that's talking about. He continues. With very little ascension to the height of the tropic, from which you trace his quadrant of a circle, resting on the equator. So it appears that Castor is at the level of the equator, celestial equator, at the point of the autumn equinox. So that would be in the west, somewhere around 23.5 degrees. Okay? North. So to page 284. Now, then for a leap into the dark. Now, Castor, go and fetch your brother, Pole. You are not the first saint that went out of the world by means of a line. And here's a quotation. Down, down to hell. So I know he's talking about wintertime because he's talking about hell, okay? And say, I sent thee thither. See him passing through what remains of September. Okay? Getting into October, thicker, darker, deeper, darker grows the days. In other words, the nights are getting longer and the days shorter. The unevenness between the daylight hours and the nighttime hours are increasing in favor of night or darkness. This is hell itself. Okay, y'all? So now we've already discussed about darkness out of the celestial ship of the north. But they're calling it hell itself. In Christianity, hell is a place for the wicked. But this is not the worst out. He, that's Castor, must not only go to hell, but he must go to hell and Tommy. Why is the bottom... who is at, so Tommy, hell and Tommy are at the bottom of the bottomless pit of hell. This is what they're saying the celestial ship of the north is, the great mother typhoon, darkness, the mindset of our ancient foremothers and forefathers from the Solarites projection is hell, is wickedness. So they talk bad about us and try to give us a negative image of ourselves and about darkness and about our ancient culture. In other words, scare you away from it, okay? St. Thomas's Day serves, which is the 21st day of December. So hell and Tommy, the lowest point to which the SUN sun can possibly descend, which is the Tropic of Capricorn, which is 23.5 degrees south. Okay, y'all? All right, y'all. Okay, so let's continue. So again, hell is winter. The the winter solstice, December 21st, 22nd. This is the day of the year that has the fewest number of daylight hours and the largest number of nighttime hours. December 21, December 22 is also called St. Thomas's Day. So that's where the old expression Hell and Tommy comes from. Hell being winter and Tommy being the day of the summer solstice. Y'all got it? So Castor goes to Hell and Tommy. Okay? So Castor is in the west, which is Libra, somewhere around 23.5 degrees north. Okay? Tropic of Cancer, but he must go, Castor, the star Castor must go to hell to help his beloved brother, who is not immortal. Pollux is not immortal. That's a summary of what happened, of what's happening here. So St. Thomas's Day, sir, oh, we already read that. Well then, I have brought my little Castor, this is the star Castor, to the lowest pit of hell, in search of his brother Pollux. And behold, Pollux is not there. Methinks, this is what the author writes, he's being facetious. Methinks I hear the distress of the heavenly brother crying out, quote unquote, where are you, Poli? Castor's in hell looking for his brother, saying, where are you, Poli? Where are you, Pollux? Oh, my poor brother. But patience, my pretty boy. Turn round the bottom hell, clear the Tropic of Capricorn, ascend as the days grow lighter as far as the 25th of January. And at that point exactly, you will find your brother Pollux, exactly answering to this map on the whole adventure, which is the figure 3. Okay, so here I wrote this. So can y'all see this? So here's Castor somewhere around Castor, the top of the 3, the dot. So Castor, look at the top of the 3, the dot. Castor goes down into hell, which is the middle line here in the number 3. His brother he goes there looking for his brother Pollux. So in other words, Pollux is located in the south, 23.5 degrees south. Okay, so Pollux goes there. His brother's not there. Where is his brother? His brother has moved out of Capricorn, and you can find him at the level the sun would be on. I'm sorry, not the sun, but you will find him at the level of January. Hold on. Where is he? 25th of January. Okay? So he moves, Pollux moves out of hell. Remember, everything's moving. And now you'll find him wherever that is, but it's out of hell. It's ascending northward on January 25th. Okay, y'all? So clear the so in other words, ascend, leave the Tropic of Capricorn. Ascend, that means move northerly. Ascend as the days grow lighter. So the days begin to grow lighter at the very beginning of January 25th. So January 25th to, December 25th to December 31st. That's 6 days plus 25 days. That's 31 days, a day for a degree. So 31 degrees north, you'll find Pollux. But poor Castor is in hell now. Okay, y'all? Do y'all get it? Okay, so the sundial moves 1 degree per day. So it's 1 degree per day. In other words, one day equals 1 degree. Y'all get it? All right, y'all. And for this reason, let me hold on. Okay, so and at that point, this is January 25th, exactly you will find your brother Pollock's exactly answering to this map the whole adventure, which is the figure 3. And for that reason, and none other, it is that of that day, the 25th of January, the church has fixed the festival of the celebration, or the festival of the conversion of St. Paul, just 1 month from Christmas Day. Y'all got that? That's why they assign January 25th as a celebration of St. Paul. And Castor recognizes his brother Pollux Paul. And Castor recognizes his brother Pollux in hell by his black eye, which he got in boxing, from whence his name Pollux, which signifies a pugilist, and his type, the black eye, which terminates the figure. And it is even none other than the god Pollux, defined by the black eye as being the bruised whom Christ, listen y'all, whom Christ in the 4th chapter of Luke declares himself sent to deliver, quote unquote. He hath sent me to preach deliverance to the captives and to set at liberty them that are bruised. Wow. And if you go to hell, you must look to get bruised too. For, depend on it, you'll have to box Ari, boxing, right, black eye, before you get out again. The 2 dots, then, of the figure 3 are the one, the summer, and the other, the winter sun. The break being the line of the equator, cutting the figure at about 1/3 above and 2/3 below. So here it is right here. These dots, okay, summer and winter solstice, and then the equator. That's what he's talking about. The dots on the 3 that I just showed y'all, okay? I'm tired, y'all, and I have to go. I wanted to finish this up. I'll put my bookmark. So we're going to start on page number, God number 4. This is a continuation of the science of the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry about all of the interruptions and everything, but you know, I do these classes in between my schedule when I can make time. Shalom Islam to all the Moors. Assalamu alaikum.